Welcome back everyone to another breakdown and highlight review part 1, and today we're diving into episode 14 of ABO Desire the series. This episode is a big one for fans of Sheng Xiaoyu and Huayong, because it's filled with emotional intimacy, sharp dialogue, and one of the boldest romantic developments in their story so far. Their relationship, which has been slowly building through tension, banter, and quiet gestures, takes a dramatic step forward here. What we get in this episode is not only about romance, but also about acceptance, vulnerability, and the strength of their bond when faced with outside pressures. Let's get into it. The episode begins by reminding us that Sheng Xiaoyu's pheromone disorder, which has been such a huge part of his struggles, has improved significantly. This in itself is a powerful symbol, because for a long time his condition was a burden, one that isolated him from others and made him feel defective or out of control. Now, it's not only better but actually tied directly to Huayong's presence in his life. Huayong isn't just someone standing beside him, he's literally becoming the stabilizing force for Xiaoyu's body and soul. And this sets the stage for the deeper connection. We see Huayong showing his usual straightforward honesty. When he casually admits that he wanted to secure the seat next to Xiaoyu because he cares about his position in his life, it may sound small on the surface, but it reveals how seriously he takes their bond. Huayong doesn't just want to be a casual companion, he's fiercely protective, almost possessive, and he's not afraid to show it. This raw honesty is what separates him from the others around Xiaoyu. Even Chen Pinming, who often serves as comic relief, notices the seriousness between them and quietly excuses himself, leaving them space. It's a simple moment, but it shows how obvious and undeniable their connection has become. Things get even more intense during the hospital and doctor's office scenes. The pheromone specialist confirms that Xiaoyu's condition has improved, but then bluntly asks if he's had sex with his partner recently. This catches Xiaoyu off guard, and Huayong, without hesitation, answers for him. What's so striking here is not just the awkwardness of the situation but the way Huayong doesn't flinch. He claims their intimacy openly, refusing to let Xiaoyu dismiss it or minimize it. It's both embarrassing and intimate, showing us the contrast between Xiaoyu's pride and Huayong's shameless devotion. But then the doctor goes further, suggesting that Xiaoyu should maintain intimacy with an omega partner to keep his condition stable. This instantly lights a fire in Huayong. His possessiveness kicks in full force, and even though he holds back harsher words under Xiaoyu's glare, his eyes alone say everything. The idea that Xiaoyu should be with someone else, anyone else, is unbearable to him. He doesn't see himself as temporary comfort, he sees himself as the permanent answer. And that small moment highlights the central conflict. They're not a typical pair, and society's rules about alpha and omega don't fully apply to them. As they leave the doctor's office, Huayong's determination becomes even clearer. He takes Xiaoyu's hand, their fingers intertwining tightly, and refuses to let go. This handholding becomes symbolic in this episode. For Xiaoyu, who is so used to control and resistance, Huayong's grip represents a challenge, a quiet insistence that he isn't going to let Xiaoyu push him away. And even when Xiaoyu tries to pull back, Huayong's gentle persistence wins out. The result is one of the most tender yet powerful portrayals of affection in the series so far. This brings us to one of the most dramatic highlights of the episode, the kiss in front of Sheng Fang's hospital bed. Up until this point, their physical intimacy has been charged with tension but restrained. Here, however, the dam finally breaks. Neither of them knows who initiated it, but suddenly they're kissing passionately, greedily, as if they've been holding back for far too long. It's not a soft or hesitant kiss, it's competitive, fiery, and consuming. Their pheromones intertwine, symbolizing that their bond isn't just emotional but also physical and biological. The irony of this moment is that it happens in front of Xiaoyu's father, Sheng Fang, who is slowly waking from a coma. He sees them, faintly recognizes his son kissing someone, and even smiles softly. It's a beautiful parallel. While society might not fully accept their pairing, his father's reaction, however brief, is gentle and approving. It feels like a quiet blessing, even if it's unspoken. The scene doesn't end there. Huayong, ever bold, takes things a step further. His fingers slide along Xiaoyu's back, caressing him in ways that ignite deeper desire. Xiaoyu is torn. Part of him is overwhelmed by the heat of the moment, while another part panics because of their surroundings. His outburst, "Are you crazy? My dad is still lying here," shows just how conflicted he is. Yet Huayong's response isn't anger or retreat, it's pure gentleness. His eyes soften, and his voice turns into a quiet apology, not because he regrets loving Xiaoyu, but because he couldn't hold himself back. And this vulnerability is what melts Xiaoyu's defenses again and again. What makes this episode stand out is how the romance is portrayed not just as passion, but as a mix of contradictions: control versus surrender, pride versus vulnerability, anger versus tenderness. Sheng Xiaoyu is a man used to power, someone who doesn't easily let others in. Huayong, on the other hand, is both fierce and gentle, willing to fight for Xiaoyu but also willing to bow his head and apologize when needed. This duality makes their relationship dynamic and real, because it's not about perfection, it's about choosing each other even in difficult, awkward, or intense situations. Thematically, Episode 14 is about breaking boundaries. It challenges the rigid rules of their world, where alphas are expected to be with omegas, and where societal norms dictate identity and relationships. By leaning into each other, Xiaoyu and Huayong prove that love doesn't have to follow a script. Their kiss in the hospital room, their hand-holding despite resistance, their shared defiance against the doctor's suggestion, all of these moments highlight that their bond is one of choice and authenticity, not convenience. Another key highlight is how this episode sets the stage for future conflict. Huayong's possessiveness is endearing now, but it could also bring complications later. Similarly, Xiaoyu's hesitations and pride may clash with his growing need for Huayong's stability and comfort. Yet, what makes the story compelling is that neither of them shies away from these challenges. They face them head-on, and each time, their relationship emerges a little stronger. By the end of the episode, what lingers most is not the passion of their kiss or the awkwardness of the doctor's office, but the undeniable truth that Sheng Xiaoyu has fallen in love. He admits it to himself, quietly and reluctantly, but with certainty. Huayong is no longer just someone by his side, he's the one person who has managed to pierce his walls, soothe his disorder, and claim his heart. In conclusion, Episode 14 of ABO Desire the series is a turning point in Sheng Xiaoyu and Huayong's romance. It blends humor, passion, tenderness, and defiance into a single, unforgettable chapter of their love story. Their connection is raw and imperfect, yet that's exactly what makes it powerful. This episode doesn't just show us a romance, it shows us a love that refuses to be denied, no matter the setting, the rules, or the risks. And for fans who have been waiting to see them take this next step, Episode 14 delivers in every possible way.